So, Jake Paul beats Ben Askren in under 2 minutes, and it's by decision of knockout. I watched the fight, and there's probably going to be a ton of memes, but this is my general review, and eventually I'm going to answer the question on who Jake Paul should fight next. Jake Paul has been really hungry to get into boxing, and to be getting wins, because I'm sure if he wasn't winning, he wouldn't want to keep doing this. And anyone who's hungry enough to be getting wins wants to fight opponents that they feel like they can beat. They obviously don't want to go for the top dog, but they want to go for opponents that they think they can beat. So I'm not saying Jake Paul is doing this per se, because there are some really great athletes that he's been going up against recently, but he should really go for people who have a lot more experience in boxing, or people who are just now starting in boxing like he is. I think that would be a little bit more fair, but hey, all the events are pretty fun to watch, and I always like seeing what Jake Paul has to bring to the table. Having said that, my review of the fight, it was meh. I enjoyed Justin Bieber's live performance. I like his new album Justice, and I like the music that he performed. I was probably more pleased with the concert by the end of the night rather than the actual boxing fight, but Snoop Dogg kind of puts it perfectly.
Bang! Right to the motherfucker.
He's a fucking bad boy, dude.
He is. Jake, get out. I'm trying to tell you.
Bad boy.
He is bad, and I say that in a good way. Like, you don't want to mess with Jake Paul. And I was one of those people who hated Jake Paul. I hated Jake Paul so much, especially when he first started out boxing. He was way too cocky, and I never usually root for the guy who's like super cocky and has his ego through the roof. But Jake Paul does have some skill, and I really hope he hones this in and takes it seriously and doesn't end up stepping into a situation that he cannot get out. Like, if he goes through a devastating loss, I can totally see him never doing the boxing thing again, and that would be really sad. So if he took this seriously, went the slow route, did the proper training, went through the proper progression in terms of boxing, he could really get somewhere, and that would be amazing to watch and see. But having said that, yeah, I was probably more excited about the Justin Bieber concert and the music rather than the actual fight. The fight was just under 2 minutes. It was pretty quick. He had a good right hand knockout, and that's how the fight ended. Now, the real topic of this video, who should Jake Paul fight next? I don't think we should sit here and just pick another random person and throw him into the mix. I think Jake Paul should fight someone big next. Fill a huge stadium and get a really big fight going on. And who could this be? Well, let's go back and see the last biggest fight that there was. Logan Paul versus KSI, the second fight. That was one of the biggest fights, like, on YouTube, on the internet. Justin Bieber showed up, a fake Ed Sheeran showed up, a bunch of other YouTubers and Twitch streamers, they were all there. So let's do another one of those. I think Jake Paul and KSI should fight. Will this happen? I don't know, because back in January of 2020, KSI did admit that he would fight if Jake Paul beat Gib.
And yet you do respect him enough, and you're on record as saying that if Jake beats Gib tonight, you will fight Jake.
I'll fight Jake, yeah.
Which we now know Jake Paul's 3-0, so yeah, he beat Gib pretty damn well too. And KSI claims that Jake Paul would be easier than Logan Paul.
I'll fight Jake, yeah. Fight Jake would be easier than Logan. Yeah.
So I don't know. We should probably see them fight at one point, but I'm going to propose something a little bit better than Jake Paul versus KSI. This would be a really good fight. Jake Paul has been having a good run, 3-0. If this person could put an end to that 3-0 record, then it would prove a lot more to the other person and get another fight probably starting again soon. What I mean by this is if Jake Paul faced his brother, Logan Paul, in a boxing match. Logan Paul has that 0-1 record right now, which is fine, but Logan Paul really did work towards the boxing thing. Like, I was following up on that, and it wasn't because I wanted to, it's because I just got intrigued after watching one video, and I wanted to follow up on what Logan Paul was doing, what KSI was doing. And I feel like Logan Paul worked a lot harder than KSI did. I'm not here gonna debate if the ref made a good call or not, or if the call to the commission was legitimate or not. All I'm gonna say is that Logan Paul should get another shot, and him facing his own brother and stopping his own brother's record could prove something to KSI that maybe a third rematch could come back. KSI and Logan Paul could be these rematches we get every few years to see who's on top, and I feel like Logan Paul does deserve another chance, but I would also want to see Jake Paul versus KSI as well. So yeah, my two picks would be Logan Paul and KSI. Honestly, I would rather see Jake Paul face his own brother than KSI, because I feel like KSI probably won't do it, and all he's gonna do is throw insults the entire time, because KSI does not know how to respect an opponent. Not one bit. Here's proof right here.
Can I ask you something?
Hit me.
I want your honest opinion.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I respect a lot. You said you're a winner.
Yes.
And you are.
Yes.
Does that make me a loser?
I mean, technically, yes.
Yeah, this interview was like way after the fight, and KSI still wants to stomp all over his opponent rather than just trying to have respect, when Logan Paul was acting completely mature and respectful during that interview. It doesn't really matter though. They're all oversized kids fighting to see who has the biggest ego. I just want to see another fight happen because they're actually quite entertaining. More entertaining than I ever thought they would be. So yeah, that's my video on the Jake Paul recent fight, and I think he should fight KSI or Logan Paul soon. Comment down below what you guys think and who you think Jake Paul should fight next, and I will make sure to read all those comments, and I might even make a follow-up video on who you guys talk about, so make sure to leave a comment down below. Also, feel free to go down in the description below and join my Discord. There we can talk more about the Ben Askren and Jake Paul fight, and who Jake Paul should face in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you next time. Peace.